Hey friends and family, how you doing out there? This is Skip Martin. I am a Grammy and Emmy award-winning artist, music producer, and songwriter. And I want to talk a little bit about Suno right now and how I feel about Suno. There's a lot of drag going around about, well, it's not real music and it's not this and that. Well, that's not so because it's a tool. It just doesn't work for people that don't have talent enough to actually give it the right songs or give it completed songs and that kind of stuff. As a songwriter and a producer, I love Suno because I've written over almost 700 songs. And when I take a song that I've already constructed and I give it to Suno, and Suno, I give it the right directives. I tell it, "Oh, I want it to have this kind of feel to it. I want it to have that kind of feel to it. I want it to be a dance rhythm. I want it to be in 120 beats per minute," and all of those different directives that somebody that knows how to write songs can tell the AI intelligence, this is the kind of feel I want. And that's when you get your quality music. Not when you go to Suno and say, write me a song based on Mary Had a Little Lamb, because it's just going to give you some lame stuff. But if you give it powerful stuff that you have produced and put together and written, and give as much ideas that you already have constructed, don't leave it up to Suno or AI to give you the song, because the one thing that Suno doesn't have that people have is people have souls. And so if you have a soul and you know how to use, everybody's got a soul. So if you know how to use music and construct it, that soul element is going to be added into the data that Suno processes. And it's going to give you two different versions of that song that you have created. And it'll probably give you some other ideas that you didn't even think about. So if any of you out there have seen that movie, Harlem Nights, where the guy is talking to his wife, said, "Baby, put your wife on the phone, put your mama on the phone. Yeah, baby, I ain't never coming home." Well, that's how I feel about Suno, because I'm not never going back to spending weeks and months and years just writing and constructing a song when I have so many songs constructed already. And I'm going to ask Suno to give me another version of this that I've already done. And I want you to make it like this, like that, and like this. I'm sold on Suno, and I'm sure you will too. As a authentic producer and songwriter, he gets my stamp of approval. Suno's the shit. Some people are saying that Suno is taking the jobs of musicians, and I totally disagree, because if you're a real musician, then you can go and you can play music anywhere. But if you don't have talent, you can't go anywhere and play music because people don't want to hear you if you don't have talent. So that talent has got to be transformed into an interpretation, and you give that to Suno, and it'll help to make and increase what it is that artist has, and not just create it from scratch with nothing. You have to start with something. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Okay. Suno is also an app that can generate ideas for global music interpretations. That means wherever you're coming from, wherever you live, if you're in India and they got, and it'll give you the feels of those things, because the data and the sounds and the drums and the vocals, all of that stuff is all data. You can be obtained all the time. And Suno is a great app to pick up some of those data. So it doesn't matter where you were, if you're in Japan, if you're in Russia, if you're in Germany, if you're in London, if you're in Australia, wherever you are and whatever your culture is, as long as you can give and feed Suno your idea. And it's best to have a completed idea to give Suno versus having Suno come up with ideas, because Suno doesn't come up with the ideas. It'll just enhance what you have given it. All right. So start with something great and you'll end up with something much greater. All right. Now let's talk about this Suno generated music. And there are some people that are saying that it lacks talent, or it lacks emotion, or it lacks this and that. And that's not true. If you have the talent and you have emotions, and that's what you convey to Suno, you're going to get more of that. But if you start with an empty bowl or an empty plate, well, that's what you're going to get as well. That's how Suno works. You can't give it something from nothing. You have to have some soul and some feel and some structure and all of that stuff. And then you give that to Suno, and it makes your tasks much more powerful. And they'll give you other ideas, but you can't start it from nothing. You have to have something from the get in. So, no, it doesn't make taking jobs from musicians, it's helping musicians do their job better. And that's why I like it. On another note, with Suno, the data says that 97% of the public can't even tell if something has been played by a Suno version of a particular song, especially when you start with something that's got soul and good content and structure. And they're listening to it. It sounds just an authentic bass player, it's an authentic drummer, it's an authentic singer, it's authentic horns, it's authentic, all of those things. It's just a data replacement. And it's getting the data from the world data, the global data of all music. So just give it your ideas. It's the new music calculator. Royalties and monetization. Uh, as it stands right now, you can spend 6 weeks, 2 months, uh, 6 months creating a song. Put the song together, you put it out on Spotify or any of the other digital platforms, and you're going to get 0.0025 cents a play or a spin, which would take you more than 5 million spins to get $1,000, right? So, but on Suno, they're going to help to market it with you and what have you. You're going to do video clips. And then the monetization is actually better than any of the other digital platforms for you. You're going to earn more through Suno than you would through Spotify, Apple Play Music, YouTube, and all those other platforms. It's just constructed to service and help the musicians create quality music from quality ideas and their quality input. And you can make some dollars. So more dollars than what you would by going to Spotify. All right, so there are people that are saying that AI music is not real music. And there's always going to be the naysayers. Matter of fact, there was a naysayers that when we came out with the telephone, people said, no, I'd rather go over there and talk to so-and-so. I'm not going to talk to a box. Well, that's the same primitive type ideas when people say things like that, because there's really value in this tool to make music, and it is here to stay. It's the age of tomorrow is today. So I'm gung ho. I'm all in because it's changed the process, what it takes to make it, and the mat music turns out phenomenal when you know the process. Key point. With Suno, I've been able to make 10 times to 50 times the amount of tracks in shorter period of time. When I used to make tracks, it would take me months and weeks to do all of the different parts, to do all the different sections, to record it, to this and that, so forth. When I can come in with Suno, take a song that's already done, and it'll give me the stems of all the tracks that I played, then I can adjust and manipulate it like I would a calculator or a Mac computer or anything else. It is ideal, and it cuts down the time it takes to create and process and mix. It cuts it to a fraction of the time, and time is more valuable than money. I love this Suno. It works for me, and I'm proud of it. For those of you that are naysayers out there, that's all right. Watch my smoke, because I'm going to keep it going. I'm a Grammy and an Emmy award-winning artist, Skip Martin, and I am a fan, and I produce music using Suno as well as my own wisdom and knowledge of 55 years. So look forward to seeing you guys out there, and you want to come visit me on Suno, come at Skip Martin Music. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. And remember my phrase, don't play no games. Talk to you later. Bye.